Last time we got together, I gave you 7 different ways to be more charming. Today, we're going to add 7 more. So, let's go! Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And we're looking to inspire, first of all, my son Eli and you to be a more charming individual. And I'm going to pick up with the 8th different way that you can be more charming as an individual. And this one is not a particularly easy one, and you can ask our president. He'll tell you personally that it's not so easy. The 8th way to be more charming is to admit your mistakes and to take ownership of them. You know, if everybody is right all the time, you know that they're not, okay? People make mistakes. It's part of being a human being. But there are some people that just will not ever apologize or admit a mistake or ever admit that they've done anything ever that was wrong. And when people do that, it tends to build a shield between you and people that you want to bring into your orbit. When you admit a mistake, people will respect you because you're being honest. Hey, I honestly made that mistake, and when I tell you something now, you know it's going to be my honest opinion or honest fact or whatever. But the point is, if you don't admit your mistakes, people will tend to question your honesty. Are we seeing that right now with the man in the White House? Not ever admitting that he made a mistake. I mean, and then now when he tells us something new, we look at it with, the proverbial grain of salt. You can't be trusted. So admitting your mistakes and owning them creates the trust factor. It also gives a person, if you've committed an error, as happens frequently in personal situations, and I know this as a husband to a wife, a boyfriend to a girlfriend, when you admit a mistake, you allow yourself to be forgiven. And a lot of times, Eli, being forgiven is a really, really good thing, especially in a relationship scenario. You'll have to trust me on that. So admit your mistakes, own up to them, and move forward. And that creates honesty and trust. Here's one that's kind of strange, okay? And this I remember from Muhammad Ali saying this, but we're going to expand on it a little bit. Muhammad Ali used to say, you know, there were always people that were trying to, you know, talk with him and do interviews with him and get him to endorse products and all sorts of things like that. Muhammad Ali, of course, unbelievably popular man, at one time he was the most recognized man on the entire planet. And one of the things that he always said was that he would not trust somebody that was not respectful to the waiter when they went out to eat. He says, if that person can be disrespectful to the waiter right in front of me, what are they going to be? How are they going to be with me when I'm not sitting there? And it doesn't just, you know, we're not just talking about waiters. We're talking about people that you work with. You have to show a respect for them. So if you're, you know, a leader or in charge of some people at work and you're showing somebody around, always when you're talking about this is so-and-so, this is Freddie, this is Susie, whatever, always show them the ultimate respect, because that first impression is a key one. It will add to your charm. They'll say, you know what, this is a guy that respects people. I want him to respect me. That will add to your ability to get people to rally around you. That's an important factor in terms of leadership. Charm is a key element. You know, you always want to remember, quote unquote, the little people. When you remember their names, they will say, wow, he remembers my name, he remembers little people. Show respect for the people that you work with. The 10th element is one of the most simple. To me, this should be number 1, but on my list I have it as number 10. Smile. Smile at people. When you smile at people, people tend to mirror what you do. They will mirror what you do. Give you an example. Okay, let's say you're in a bar. Don't people assume the same posture? They have beer, they're holding it up, they're leaning up, and people are talking, and they start. That people will mirror what you do. And if you want people to mirror a positive attitude, to be charming themselves, smile. When you smile at someone, the only real proper response is for them to smile back at you. And don't, you don't have to do it, you're not looking to gain something, just smile at somebody. I do that all the time, especially in the grocery store, and I'll tell you something else. Even wearing a protective mask, people can see that you're smiling. And another thing is to make sure that you smile with your eyes, because then you're telling people, hey, it's really good to see you. And be sincere. Be sincere when you do that. By the same token, the 11th trait of charming people is stop looking at your darn phone. People walking around like this all the time. Pay attention to the people in your orbit. Give them the courtesy of attention. The people that you find, that you will see that are the most charismatic, that are the most charming, are the ones that look at you like you're the only person in the room, that you're the only person in the planet, and they're very interested in what it is you have to say. Once again, a key element of charm is to be interested and not interesting yourself. When people start to ask you questions about yourself, okay, you'll have a few stories ready. Hopefully some of them will be amusing. Hopefully some of them will be educational. Share them with people, but wait until you're asked to start telling stories about yourself. And one of the things that's, is give the person that you're with, or the group of people that you're with, the attention. Put the phone away. It'll wait. You don't have to look at it every second. And I see people doing that all the time, and it doesn't make them people that I particularly want to associate with. Sometimes you have to do something like that, and you say, excuse me, I have to get this, and then walk away. But when you're with the group of people, they deserve your full attention. And speaking of giving people full attention, that is one of the basics of just having good manners. Your mom and your dad taught you to say, what do you say? Please, what do you say? Thank you. These habits do not expire when you become an adult. Remember to say please. Remember to say thank you. People notice. I know that I notice. And I figure that if I notice when people are saying please and thank you and being polite, that other people do as well. It just shows respect. And one of the things that is a critical element of charm is to show respect. And then it will be reciprocated with that person respecting you. So the words please and thank you, and even at work, even if you're the boss, you always want to say those. Could you please do this? This is something we need to have done. Hey, I saw that you did that. Thank you very much. It was very helpful. The simple acknowledgement that you accomplished something that was asked of you is something that generates respect. 13, you want to upgrade your image. How do you upgrade your image? Well, there are several different ways to do that. One way, a simple way, is to dress better. You can see I'm not particularly somebody that does that, but I'm in the minority. One of the things that shows the ability to be charming is to draw people to you is when you're well dressed, people notice and they say, he's well dressed. Now, I want to be clear with you on this. Here I am talking to a camera, all right? I'm not speaking to a particular individual. But in any given business circumstance, I don't come in wearing a t-shirt and jeans with holes in them. I dress appropriately. It might be a three-piece suit. It might be dressy casual. You know, that's one of the things that is standard. You don't want people to make a negative judgment about you based upon your appearance. Let me say that again. You don't want people to make a negative judgment about you based upon your appearance. Keep that in mind. And there are, other ways to upgrade your image. You know, when you go and you study something and you learn something and you share something, or you hear somebody talk about a particular subject that they're interested in, and you do a little research and you ask them a question about it. Gee, how can I heard about this and you said that and you're the expert, tell me a little bit more about that. Upgrade your image by showing that you listened to what the person said and did a little more work based upon the conversation that you had with them. That's another way of upgrading your image. There are many, many different ways to do that. You know, a simple way, like I said, is the appearance. But, you know, what you know and how you relate to somebody, that's also part of your appearance, isn't it? You know, you appear interested, you're curious, you want to know. Just as when you go into a job interview, always make sure that you look at the company's website to see what they're all about. And then when you sit down and you're having your interview and you're able to spout some of the things that they have on their website, the people say, wow, this person actually took the time to find out about us. They have questions about us. That's the type of person we want working here, isn't it? Does that make sense? And the most important factor, which I've saved for last, in terms of being charming. You ready? You ready? Eli, you ready? Be happy. When you're happy, people will want to come to you. Do you want to go, if you see somebody that's like whining and whizzing and moaning and so on and so forth all the time, is that a person that you're drawn to? Well, guess what? The people around you are not going to be drawn to you if you're a constant complainer. I know that's the way it is. You know, when I was working in a particular place and this one complained and that one complained, it was like, you know, stay away from me. On the other hand, always go in with a positive attitude. Be happy. Smile. Say good morning. How difficult is that? It's less difficult than putting on a mask, isn't it? All you have to say is good morning. Be positive. Be happy. People will be drawn to you because they will want to spend time with you, because you want to spend time with happy, don't you? Does that make sense? My favorite dwarf, happy. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's quickly review what we spoke about today, which is to admit your mistakes and own them. Respect your waiter, respect people that you either work with or are serving you. Don't, you know, put yourself, I'm up here and they're serving me, I'm down there. Smile all the time, as much as you can, even when you're wearing a mask. Stop looking at your phone all the time. The phone is a tool to help you. You are not a tool of the phone. Have basic manners. When you're talking with people, the words please and thank you are words that people will respect and draw and you will be able to draw people to you, rally people around you. Upgrade your image. Keep in mind of appearance. Keep in mind of knowledge. Keep in mind that you're respecting what somebody else stands for, and when you do that, then you're in a position to draw them closer to you because they see that you're interested and not trying to be interesting yourself. And once again, the most important thing is to be happy. And when you're happy, you will draw people to you. These are the key elements of being charming. And as I started to say, it's because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note. Let's all get out there, be charming, and charge! I'm Eli's dad.